Hello, hello, hello. Hey, you guys. Oh my God. How long has it been? It's been quite a while, right? Well, for y'all who don't know, it's your girl, Miss Mouthy, and I'm so thankful and grateful to be back in the studio. So, yeah, totally. This is a podcast for trans women of color here in the city of Detroit. It's all about our narratives and experience and the allies that love and support us. And the biggest thing is you might be hearing, like, Malty, what is going on with your voice? Well, for the past couple of while, I've just come back from vacation and I have been very hoarse. Like, it's been crazy. Literally was supposed to do some interviews while I was in Florida. Um, and my voice, I woke up the next day with my luck. My voice was just gone shot. But I don't want to make no excuses for why I wasn't there or like why I didn't push through. So on some of the episodes about you are definitely gonna hear my raspy cricket voice. But I am so thankful to be back. Like this has been the longest hiatus I have had. Y'all do not have to think about it again. Um, so yeah, just a few recaps. Your girl have been busy. Okay. Like um, when I tell you I've been working and grinding, so Mouthy has not just been gone MIA for no reason. I literally been just like kind of working, connecting, building behind the scenes to really propel myself in the next direction, really getting more engulfed in my abilities as a podcaster and an entity and a businesswoman and what that looks like. And so I'm excited. So, a little things that Malti had been working on, I had the honor of actually going to my friend Latricia's fashion show, which was amazing. If y'all don't know who Latricia is, you need to follow her on social media. She's my friend on Facebook, but she had a fashion show a few weeks ago and it was amazing. And I think her um concept was about like zebra madness. And so it was a lot of different hues of like blues and zebra print, which I thought was amazing. It was just amazing. So shout outs to her. It was a few people. A young lady who is a artist called Exotic was in the building. One of the members from D12 was in the building. She had a lot of people and supporters that just came in and rocked the fucking runway. Okay. So that was a thing and it was amazing. Um yeah, so that was something. I'm actually going to put that footage out really soon. So if you have been following me on social media, you will definitely see that I have just got back from Florida. I went to Fort Myers, Florida. I have never been. Only parts of Florida I normally go to is Tampa because my best friend's family is from Tampa, and then I also go to Miami for my birthday weekend, which is really amazing. And I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like Mouthy. Why do you got on this fucking all this Christmas, Halloween, Christmas decorative shit? And it's just like because I'll talk about that a little later. But everything that I do my madness has a science to it. Um, but yes, Black Girls Rule. Black Girls Rule was amazing. That's where I was at when I was in Fort Myers. Thanks to TIJP for having this event for Black Girls Rule 2021. It was amazing. I was so grateful to be in the building amongst all these different leaders within the TGIJP. I'm sorry, let me not butcher that. But to be amongst all of these BGR leaders, Black Girls Rule for 2021, it was amazing. I got to connect with people who I don't know, and then people who I was familiar with who were in great leadership and returning Black Girl Crew participants that I met when we all went to Vegas. And so because of the pandemic, everything had got pushed back. So we were in a beautiful resort. It was amazing. We actually had a first award ceremony, which was really, really good. And your girl got an award, y'all. I was really excited and stoked. I wasn't expecting it. I'm not gonna lie, because oftentimes we will be doing the work and we'll be having all these things going on, and people will make us feel like we're not doing enough or the work that we do is invalid. And I don't know if it's just my hometown or just the generation in and of itself, but people really have to stop that crab in the bucket mentality where you stop uplifting people and you stop letting people shine for whatever reason. So here in my hometown, I just felt like it was a lot of people who was trying to stop my growth. Definitely wanted me to feel like the work that I was wanting to do wasn't important, but I didn't let that shit stop me. What's my favorite thing? Set of lips. Keep going. Yes, no matter what somebody do to try and deter you, but it's for you, it's for you. And so I'm just really, really thankful to get that award because it reunited this fire within me to be able to do the work and serve my community in the way that I do. And in that process, I learned so much about not only myself, but how leadership looks amongst other leaders, right? Like it's really important um, to actually have other leaders amongst there so you can learn and teach one another. Um, and that's it. Hey, Julisa. So definitely seeing my girl, you know, she's going to come on and she's going to talk about some things today. I'm really excited to have her on. Who else? Y'all always know I'm with my girl, so it's really good to like come back and introduce y'all back to who I am and what I do. But anywho, I've learned that even in leadership, there is room for growth. And I think doing this work, sometimes a lot of things get murky when people bring their prides and egos to the side. And it's a lot of shit that we don't talk about, right? Like, we don't talk about how in the nonprofit world or realm, there's a lot of gatekeeping. There's a lot of people who feel like, especially with trans women, they always feel like, she's about to come in. She's about to take my money. She's about to take my accolades. Nobody's going to see me. But that's actually not true. There's a lot of space for all of us to grow and be who we are and in our lanes, invested, and even build together to actually service our community. And I think when people try and take on this, my I done it all complex, that's where it get lost. That is where the work in and of itself in our community members get lost because you're not servicing for the greater good, you're serving for your selfish gain. So, with that being said, what else? Oh, I got some stuff coming. I got so much stuff coming up. So we also have Transgender Day of Remembrance coming up November 20th. I am doing the event with Black Trans Fund to really highlight Black joy and liberation. That was a theme that came up a lot too when I was out of town. Was that as Black people, we really have to have joy and liberation when it comes to how we live and how we show up. Never, never forget that you are deserving of those joys and liberation, even if you're a Black trans person here in this nation. I think it's really important that, yes, in Transgender Day of Remembrance, we talk about how the lives was lost. But it's very, very important to honor that for the living, people are here. And then it's a drag brunch coming up on the 21st, which Isis Dupree will be having, and I will be there highlighting. So Miss Mouthy is turning to help all your event needs. So if you want coverage around what events you might be hosting, I am up for consultations and taking y'all on as my new clients just so I can grow and build brands and let people know what's out here in our community. And finally, you can bring on my girl so we can pop our shit. Um, hey girl. Hey girl, hey. So you gotta
Hey, Miss Mouthy,
hey.
thank you for having me.
Of course, of course, of course. I love having
We are
you.
both looking very
So
Christmassy.
very Christmassy, right? Oh, so tell the people who you are and what do you do?
So, my name is Julisa Abad. I founded Team Abad. I also work at the Fair Michigan Justice Project in correlation with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, where we prosecute crimes against the LGBT community, specifically trans women of color. We've been in operation since 2016 with 30 capital cases and a 100% conviction rate.
That's really important. What was one thing that really got you vested in this type of work when you started doing the work that you do?
So as I heard you tell everybody, I am from Tampa, Florida. And if I'm going to be honest, when I moved here, it was a culture shock. Just the lack of opportunity, resources for trans women, especially because Michigan is an at-will state and can deny you housing, employment, and just even services just for authentically being yourself. So
Right.
that's what made me get in the work.
Okay, cool. So we are looking very, very Christmassy. Do you want to reveal why we're looking so holidays inspired?
I am so excited, and I'm actually so proud of you.
Oh, I'm
Um, so
so
every year, oh, thank you, Miss Mouthy is out here.
we are
So
trying.
every year, this is my seventh year. I do a holiday coat drive for trans individuals, men and women, where I offer winter coats, winter essentials, HIV testing. We do it in the area where most trans can benefit from it, which is the 6 Mile and Woodward area. This year, Team Abad and Miss Mouthy are partnering together. Do you want
Yes.
to tell everybody what it's called, or you want me to tell them?
Yeah, of course. So, Team Abad and Miss Mouthy is partnering up for a warm feastful Christmas event. So I think it's really imperative that when we think about like doing the work, oftentimes when you see people doing what they do amazingly, right? Julisa has been doing her coat drive for 7 years and been doing it without a hitch. And so I think it's important instead of reinventing the wheel and trying to step out to do your own thing, that y'all pull together and really make the most of y'all skill sets, resources, and time. So I'm so thankful to be able to partner up with her to like try and really impact our community. Definitely.
And I am grateful to watch you grow and flourish and just do what you've been doing. My girl has been out here.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been working and but really it's because you inspire me. I know like oftentimes when we think about like how our friendship have grown to be, people have oftentimes tried to pin us up against each other. And I'm so thankful that the work that we do, our passion for our community has been able to be the things where not only can we build our brands together and be able to give back, but also, girl, we done sat on like covers together, panels together, and I think it speaks volumes to when you like genuinely want your friend to win. You can see how y'all both can show up and like support each other in different aspects. Definitely.
Me and my girl did a amazing photo shoot for you guys. I can't tell you too much, but it'll come out right before the coat drive, and we are really excited about that.
Yes, yes. And so with that being said, myself or Jaleesa, we both gonna post and share our GoFundMe. So definitely know that. Let the people know how they can find you or find your GoFundMe account.
So you can go to GoFundMe. It's called Transmission, Trans Mission, Mission. My name is Julisa Abad, like a bad bitch. You can find me on
Period.
any social media. um, I'm taking donations, monetary. Any amount helps. If 5,000 of my friends send $1, that's $5,000 to change the life of my community. We are also taking new and gently used coats. So feel free to reach out to me, donate coats, socks, winter scarves, hats. I will drive to Guam to pick it up. And our coat
Okay.
drive is actually December 18th from 5 to 9 at Minjo's, which is located on 6 Mile in Woodward at 928 West McNichols.
Yes. So definitely thank you for that. And I'll be sharing her GoFundMe and my GoFundMe as well. So everybody who know us that love and support us, please donate what you can. Everything is appreciated. And even if you cannot donate anything voluntarily, you can donate like she said, the coats and things of that nature and your time, you know. Sometimes it's not always about a coin, but we would appreciate it. But come and support. Let us know that you support the work of trans people of color having a great holiday season. And so, speaking of trans people and having great seasons in their lives, we just ended our first kicking it with the girls session. How did you feel about doing that?
Um, Honestly, I feel way better than what I thought I was going to feel. Sometimes
Right?
it's a little difficult working with different personalities and people that might not share the same views, even though we all have a lot of the same experience and we're trans. I felt really, really fulfilled. I think that our first set of girls were amazing. I think that they learned a lot from us. I myself was also able to learn a lot from them. And I don't know, I just feel like we did great things. I feel like they genuinely appreciated it. I'm looking forward to more groups, but I think our first one is always going to stand out to me.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. Those ladies, the fact that they would like keep us updated, right? Like the fact that like every week somebody out of our group will be doing the homework assignment or could recall something that we talked about the previous week. And then like if something happened, they reached out to each other. Like one of our girls got hospitalized and it was really endearing to see that like all the ladies was very concerned. And so as soon as she was up and at 'em and feeling like herself, she came right back to the group. So I think it's impactful. Do you know um maybe why that intervention was so important? Why do you feel like trans women of color addressing their trauma is imperative?
Only because for so long, I'll talk about when we got into activism, right? I'll speak
Okay.
from an I perspective. When I started this journey of activism about 9, 10 years ago, there was not any, there was not any women actually that were out here doing the work, that were on
Right.
news, that were trying to address our trauma. I think a lot of
Yeah, more.
organizations, employers, jobs, people, society don't understand a lot of what trans women go through. A lot of trans women sometimes come off as being angry and mad in spaces where they're given an opportunity to talk, but it's because for so long they haven't had those opportunities, right? So when they're given that little 2 minute to be able to talk, they try to cram all of this stuff in of what they've gone through, their heartache, their trauma. And it comes off a lot as like angry or problematic. So
Mhm.
I think that the work that we do is really, really important. And letting girls be able to address their trauma, address their anger, and use that to fuel to do other things like the great work that we're doing. I'm
Yeah.
very proud of both of our accomplishments, but I also know that there's so many other trans women that would be able to do great things if they were given the same opportunities that we had.
That's very true. I agree with that 100% because oftentimes people don't want to give trans women opportunity simply because of the requirements around academia, wanting them to have a degree or having them look a certain type of way, and they limit their experience or the impact that trans women can have simply by lived experience. So it's really disheartening that when I think about organizations, especially here in Detroit, maybe they should frame their minds around not always looking for the girl that rehearse well, right? The show pony. Like, yeah, she know what to say and do, and she look a certain type of way, and that's why you hire her. But actually, you need to get out in the community and go on 6 Mile and Woodward and hire the girls that actually is doing sex work or the girl that you feel like is problematic because it's a lot of passion fueled behind what y'all seeing as combative or anger. And let's do away with those stereotypes. Like people of color is not just like angry and combative. It's a lot of that rich passion that I feel like people who are not black or of color don't know how to tame it, or they try to tame it and feel intimidated by it, right? Like how you seem to express yourself shouldn't impact how I feel in the space if you show up and do your job. If you come and do everything that's asked of you. Who gives a fuck that you gotta yell and like rah rah a little bit? Get the job done and ultimately like your work will speak for itself.
So there is so many other women that could benefit from this program. So Miss Mouthy, if there are other trans women of color that would like to partake in our next session, how would they sign up?
Yeah, so definitely, if there's any trans women between the ages of 18 to infinity, you are welcome to join. You can reach out to myself, Jaleesa, and the other two facilitators of the group, Latrice Ward and Harmony Harris, over at Ruth Ellis Center. And actually, let them know. Or you could DM us in on our social media platforms if you follow us. Hopefully, some of the young ladies from our first cohort could actually reach out to some of their friends and tell them. And like word of mouth is impactful. But yeah, just reach out. And if you know somebody, send them their way. If you think that they have a lot of trauma, they can benefit from it a lot. Because it was a growing experience for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Like there was a moment where I could have been a petty bitch or I could have been a professional bitch, and I chose to be a professional bitch. Because regardless of my own personal views about certain ladies, I knew that trauma is something that we all experience, and I never wanted to block anyone's recovery or anybody's journey to become a better form of self just by my own interactions with them. And I think sometimes we have to model that. Like we have to really model like, damn, I don't like you, bitch, but let's pause that, get what you need, and then we'll go back to not liking each other when you heal from your trauma.
Oh, thank goodness for growth, Miss
Oh,
Mouthy.
you know what? Dee Dee Waters. If you don't know Dee Dee Waters, shout out to Dee Dee Waters. While I was in Florida, Dee Dee Waters helped me a lot when it comes to, she said, it's called having grace. Okay. Having grace for someone does not mean that you have to like them or dislike them. It's just simply having a level of respect, right? So if I tell you in the first interaction between us, like, hey, can you not just do this or XYZ? All right, that's having grace. You was able to tell them your boundary. You didn't judge them for whatever their reaction was. But then the second time it comes around, you don't have to have grace. You don't have to be in space with them. You don't have to like them because you've already set that level of expectation. So moving forward, it's not about having a grace because then you just become a pushover. But having grace is a way of really minimizing your personal feelings or your judgmental thought process behind somebody's action and simply just allowing people to show up for who they are. Ain't no right or wrong way. It's just that. So having grace, thank you, GD Waters, for that. Because baby, sometimes working with different personalities and all of those really can dilute how you feel like you show up in the work. So doing this work can get really challenging, Jaleesa. How do you self-care and really replenish yourself when doing all these works? Because you do a lot. You're directly on the scene when a lot of the violence that impact our community is happening. So how do you do that?
So, as you know, unfortunately, violence and crime doesn't have a time. So, I don't really have a set time. If I will be honest, prior to now, I wasn't very good with boundaries. So I've gotten a lot better of making sure that we do certain things during work hours. If you are not being assaulted, chased, or you have a limb
Right.
missing, like I have to get sleep and do what every other normal person does because I will not be good to anybody else if I do not take care of myself. I've been doing a lot of traveling with my girl, Miss Mouthy.
Okay,
So to
period.
me, that is self care, getting away from the area, the environment, seeing new things, creating memories. I've been blessed and we've worked so hard to where I think I'm at a point now where I have everything I want materialistic wise. So now I'm on this new journey of like just creating memories and doing things that I want to do for self.
Yes. I love that. One of my self-care tips is really like being able to one cut my phone off and just detach, right? Like detach from everything that's going on. Give yourself a good 1 day a week, right? Where you just kind of only talk to your people who ground you, the people who pour into you, and then everybody else, you let it go. Them text messages still gonna be there. Those people problems still gonna be there. When you take that time for yourself, you get to realize a lot about yourself, what it is that makes you tick. How do you find peace? So one thing about me, I love incense. So I'll light a good incense and a candle, baby, and I'll be feeling like I'm good. Okay. But also you talked about something that really, really is important. You do a lot of work around having to respond to like police interactions. What are some tips that people in our community when it comes to like filing a police report or reporting a crime? What are some things that they need to know that could be really imperative to bringing their assaulter, let's say, to justice?
So, for a long time, we know about the communication and the mistrust within our community, trans women of color, and the police department. So, since then, I've worked really, really hard with shout out to Danny Woods. She
Hey,
is
Danny.
our she is Corporal Danny Wood. She is our LGBT liaison with the Detroit Police Department, which works really, really closely with myself as well in like solving crimes against our community. The Fair Michigan Justice Project. For so long, our community was concerned with being prosecuted for like weed, open container, solicitation, prostitution, but police officers would ignore the fact that they were just raped or assaulted. We didn't
Right.
have numbers or statistics. For so long, trans women were misgendered. So, like, we didn't even have a catalog of, like, this is going on to trans women because there was no cultural competency within police departments. So, I go to different police entities. I have trained the Army in Lansing, different police
Mhm.
departments, the Defense Bar, with cultural competency. Excuse me. Um, Reporting a crime is very, 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 very important for my community. Now we've gotten a lot better at reporting, as you know, because you're with me all the time. People will
Yes.
call at random hours and want to report a crime. Some people are not comfortable to go into a police station. Some of them are scared because they have a warrant. Whether you
Yeah.
have a warrant in that moment, you can still go report a crime. They're not running your name when you report a crime. What we're trying to do is get the person that assaulted you, brutalized you, raped you, did you harm in any kind of way. Um, Nothing can ever be done unless there's a paper trail. If you are genuinely scared, get a PPO. There's victim advocates at every precinct that can walk you through the process if you're scared or uncomfortable. If you're still uncomfortable, you can always reach out to me. We can meet at a safe space, whether it's a McDonald's, whether it's a Ruth Ellis Center. I can connect you with Danny Woods or take you to a precinct where I specifically work with people, know that they're culturally competent, and basically hold your hand through the process while you try to seek justice for the crime that was committed towards you.
Yes. Thank you so much for that work because that's really important. And also, you do a lot of things around the name change clinic. Can you tell people a little bit about that?
I do. So, Fair Michigan, originally when we started, we only had jurisdiction in Wayne County. Now I have jurisdiction in Wayne County, Oakland County, Washtenaw County, and Ingham County. We have, thank you, we are the first in the nation, and people don't know, that have a transgender inclusion policy. So that's also helped with us getting statistics and numbers when it comes to reporting crimes. So basically, what that means is if you are a victim of a crime and you go to court and have to testify, make a report, whatever the case is. If your name is not legally changed, we still have to address you by your preferred name and your preferred pronoun. It makes it a lot easier for my community to want to come forward to report crimes, not be embarrassed, not be dehumanized by a defense attorney. I also started a name change project where we have helped over 100 trans individuals, men and women, legally change their name. I have partnered with attorneys at Ford, Dykema, and GM, where they give me attorneys pro bono. They cover the cost of a attorney, a publication fee. The only thing that I have people cover is a fingerprint fee, which is $30. It's $15 per card. I give them the address, the phone number, and make their appointment of the precinct that they have to go to get their fingerprints done. They have been trained and they're culturally competent with dealing with our population.
Right.
It's a 6 to 8 month process. You reach out to me through DMs or through email. I'll make an appointment where I will see you at Ruth Ellis. As long as you make less than $22,000 a year and you don't have any active warrants, you qualify to be part of the name change program.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. That's really important work. So if anybody you know that may need their name change or make a report for whatever reason, have them reach out to Julisa. So one thing about it is that what I love about our friendship, right, is that it's been very eye opening, right? So me and my girl is polar opposites for people who may not know us. But I think there's really a level that most people don't talk about, that get you a buddy system. In moments as a trans woman, it's so important to have a buddy system. And I'm so thankful to have Julisa for that in moments, because we've been able,
Miss
no,
Mouthy
seriously.
calls me MacGyver.
Okay, period. Yeah, she my MacGyver, because there are so many moments in which things can go awry as a trans woman, that you need to think about how to get out, how to be safe, and letting somebody know where you are. So over the years, me and Jaleesa just have been having these little protocols that we have to be able to like ensure our safety and things of that nature. So MacGyver, can you take it away?
Yes. So, unfortunately, a lot of the crimes that have happened with my community that are fatalities, it makes it harder for us because we don't ever want people to know our business, or the men that we deal with aren't comfortable with self. So, what I usually tell women is somebody that you trust. Take a picture of a license plate, a screen name, a phone number. You might think that it's not important, but it's easy for me to ping their location, be able to look up who they are, look up an IP address. If you're going to see somebody and you've never been there before, don't ever park in their driveway where you can be blocked in. Always park in the street facing the opposite way. So if you have to get out, you have an exit route. Carry mace. I can't tell you to carry a weapon, but carry what you need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Um, Go ahead, Miss Mouthy. Miss Mouthy can tell you to carry a weapon.
Yeah, so what I would say, make sure you get your CCWs, ladies. It's really important that you want to get them before they get you, period, and not step that seal on any given day. Because I would rather for a trans woman to be alive and thriving than to be living and afraid or keep dying at the rates that we're dying at the hands of violence.
So I have pepper spray on my keychain, but I also have pepper spray on the side of my car because if you're sitting in my passenger and I tell you to get out and you don't move quick enough, we got a way to get you up out of there. Make sure that when you get there, you always call whoever your buddy system is, let them know that you're safe. If you're uncomfortable, if you have an iPhone, make sure that your location is on. Lord forbid, and I know this sounds crazy, my girl always be like, you think of the most morbid things, but like you have to, I do, because of the work that I do, right? So Lord forbid you're ever in the trunk of someone's vehicle. Most newer cars have a latch where you can pull it and open the trunk and get the fuck out. Lord forbid something happens, you are going to know that I was there. I am spitting. I am leaving traces of hair. I am digging my nails into you. Make sure that there is some kind of identifiable DNA to where they can find the person that did something to you. So these are just little tips that I tell my girl, just Lord forbid something happen, I can do what I have to do to find out where she's at or who did something to her.
Yeah, and that's a harsh reality as a trans woman we have to face, but we need to normalize that conversations, or else we'll have to keep reaping the benefit of burying our loved ones and having no idea who's done it and somebody walking away scot free. um it's really important that like be very mindful and cautious of these apps and dating apps. I know we oftentimes as trans women want to feel love and want to feel closeness, but let's make sure that we're doing it in a very safe way, because there are some crazy people out here, and I just want us to have some type of tips that we don't talk about. And if check your local organization and see if they have any self-defense classes, right? Or if you go to the gym by any chance, see if they have any self-defense thing. Arm yourself as much as you can. I wish I'm gonna get the information, but there was a organization while I was in Florida that really specifically does work around really arming trans people with being able to defend themselves in any given situation. So I think that's really important.
And the
Um,
world that we live in now, unfortunately, everybody goes online. I would prefer that you just meet people in your day to day while you're out there. I've had a lot of cases that I've witnessed myself through the prosecutor's office where people will go online specifically to target our community. They will
yes.
act like they're enamored with trans women. We even have had cases where men will pretend to be gay to assault men that are down low and are not comfortable enough with telling their family because they feel like for that same reason they're not going to report a crime. So just be very cautious with the people that you meet online. Understand and know that half of what they tell you might not be true. And don't believe everything that you just read or that they tell you. So just be very, very safe and keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I guess my other tip would be that like it is really good to have a clear line of communication when it comes to your good girlfriend around the type of men that we deal with, right? I'm not gonna necessarily say trade because I've realized from other men they want to kind of get away from that term. But masculine men, let's have clear communications with our homegirls so that way it's not as combative or an issue, right? And me and my girl can I love how we check in with each other around centering around that because men will be men, and if they find themselves to be attracted to trans women, 9 times out of 10, he's going to have a dealing with another girl that you are known of or friends of. Um, so just be mindful in that way, just so it can always keep that down. And if he is a robber, scammer, whatever, y'all have already been able to check each other about that because that was something that happened. I was talking to
Or
someone
if he
and
was just whack. Me and my girl gonna talk about
yeah,
it. So if you
that's
talk
very
to my
true.
girl, don't be trying to add me and talk to me because we most definitely gonna be like, so you
Girl.
know him?
Shit. Okay. And we get it. We definitely get it. Like it's a thing, but I kind of feel like we should have the same respect that we have for guys. Like I don't go around and like have one guy that I'm interested in and I go jump in his homeboy's DM and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Da, 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 da. That's just not a thing for me. But for them, for whatever reason, it's like they want to talk to one girl and then turn around and talk to her homegirl and talk to her other homegirl. Maybe what is that about? What is that about, Jaleesa? Give me some advice because you
I
know
don't
you we always
I
have.
don't have no advice on that. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Either they be bored or they think that we just don't have those conversations. I really
Yeah,
don't know. And it'd be so insulting because I'm like, if you follow us and you do, you see we're together every single day. You don't think I'm about to be like, just like we talked about buddy system, like, hey, I'm about to go hang with this person off this street, like just letting you know I'm okay. My girl gonna be like, well, wait a minute, I was just on that street 3 days ago. And I'm like, for what?
okay. Oh, okay. So, boom. As a trans woman, how has your dating life been? How have you feel like it's been going? What
My
is your
God.
ideals around it?
Mouthy always want to put me on the spot.
Yes, girl.
So,
Because I don't know when you go. I'm gonna get your butt back here. You be so busy.
um, what is my date? Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys the short version because I kind of feel like everybody already knows. Because if they follow you, they mostly know who I
Yeah.
am. So we're not gonna say his name, but we just gonna say who he resembles. So I dated Two Chains for like 4 years. My girl is over there falling out. um, and so dating. So let's have a serious conversation, right?
Right.
Dating as a trans woman is particularly hard. One, because it's hard already to find a man that's comfortable with self. Second, just the silos that come with dating. Like, if a lot of people don't understand because they're not culturally competent or educated, but we all logically know what a gay man is. And a gay man, other than telling us how beautiful our makeup is and wanting to borrow our jeans and purses, is not trying to lay with us and give us affection. It is heterosexual, straight men that used to have girlfriends, wives, baby mamas, and all the rest of it. When they're done interacting and sleeping with us, or the relationship does not work out, they go right back to cisgender women, not basketball players that look like them or their
Right.
homeboys. I'm saying that to say that it's already hard to find men that are comfortable with self and men that don't have situations. If I'm going to be honest, in my day to day walking around, going through life and navigating, 85% of men that approach us while I'm alone or when I'm with Miss Mouthy have a situation or have a girlfriend or something. It does not make me want to rush to be in a relationship because I kind of see basically how they are now.
Right.
Um, the last person that I interacted with, if I'm going to be honest, that was 4 years. He definitely was in a relationship as well with somebody else. In the beginning, I did not realize that. I thought it was just for the benefit of their child.
Right.
And then Obviously, a year and a half went by, and by then it was too late, and I was in love, and my girl knew that I would stand in it. Like, I'm not
Right.
going anywhere. That's my man. She don't have to deal with it. And then 4 years later, it ended. So right now, I am in no rush to date. Let me go back. Let me go back. I am in no rush to be exclusive with anybody. I am dating. Dating means hanging out with who I want, getting what it is that I need. And that does not mean sexually. I hate that people see you in a picture or out on an outing with the boy and automatically say that you're sleeping with him or that you have to be a
No.
hoe.
Yeah.
I might like this guy because he has really intellectual conversation and we can talk about all of my business ventures and all the things that I can't talk to my hood boy about. I might
Right.
like this one because he makes me laugh and he's funny as hell. I might like this one because he doesn't have the issues that this one has with not being comfortable with self and we can go out in public. I might like this one because I get intimacy from him. And the last one, yes, I might have amazing sex with. So right now I am just dating, trying to figure out what's best for Julisa. I am working on self, getting a bigger bag. My transition, we know that that's never over. Um, Changing the world. I don't know. I feel like what we always discuss in private, you and me, which is what God has for you is for you. When it is my time, God will make sure that I see it, smell it, taste it, and it's there for me. But right now, I'm not rushing anything.
Okay, period. And that's what you gotta know. One thing I think has been significant in watching you date is that I would love to invite you back once I put the panel together, but I definitely want to have this conversation centered around trans women and cisgender women and what it's like about dating, because your dating experience really highlighted how cisgender women can get away with acts of violence towards trans women and it be justified, right? It's so crazy to be the ironic thing is so crazy that like we do this type of work and like men don't have any accountability in the situation that can ultimately put two women against each other and put a trans woman in violence. So yeah, I want to put that conversation for another date, but I would definitely love if you come and be a part of
I
that
would.
panel.
I would love to. We definitely should have that conversation. Oh,
Yeah, cause
shout out to Two Chains. You made me learn so much.
yes, two Shanes, you have taught us all so very much not to trust no nigga.
Never.
Okay. These niggas for everybody. Yeah. But
I
no,
might have to take this and like send it to his inbox just so he can see.
period. So what's one thing either from a younger Jaleesa perspective or the Jaleesa now? What is some pearls of wisdoms you want to leave amongst our audience? That could be about dating, your transition, who you are as a person.
Not to rush anything, not to ever compete with anybody. I think sometimes we look at what this person has or what this person has being blessed with in the moment, and it obviously it makes us want it, right? Like we all want to be whole with
Right.
whatever it is, like you said, whether it's job, whether it's dating, whether it's transition, whatever it is. And even though we might not understand it in that moment, God gives you what you need when it's your time and when it's right for you. And there were so many things that I wanted at different times that now in retrospect, I realize I was not capable or didn't even have the knowledge to accept that blessing, if that makes sense. So just not to rush anything. Always don't ever think that you're not doing enough, if that makes sense. I've
Right.
realized that all the work that we do, sometimes I get exhausted and I'm like, when is it my turn? And there have been times where I've looked up and all of those years of doing the activism and the work that I was doing was planting seeds that I didn't realize. And now all of those seeds are coming to harvest and I am getting everything that is mine.
Amen. Amen. One thing that I would leave y'all with is like this gonna sound so horrible, but stay with me. Um, you don't have to fucking be humble. You do not have to shrink yourself in a room full of giants. You are just as well as equipped. Oftentimes, I think during this work, I had second guessed myself. You do not have to second guess yourself in your ability to show up as who you are. And you can pop your shit. It is okay for you to be confident in knowing that in this ability, this God given shit that I got, it was meant just for me. And I say that only because of Mouthy and where I'm at today, right? Like it was so absurd that like, oh, how am I gonna take a podcast and really filter it and have it have my activism in it as well? The reality of the situations, I was able to give $5,000 to trans women of color here in Detroit. The reality is, look, we have this amazing event coming in December. I also connect other people to different resources and plug them into different connections where they can grow their own potential businesses and things like that. So if you allow what people say to you to dictate how you move and operate and show up, you will never move forward. You will always stay there and you will be a people pleaser. So please pop your shit. Put on your ego. Let them hoes know exactly who you are. Because when you came into the room, they looked down on you or they felt like you were competition before you even knew you were in the race. And so with that being said, it's your girl Miss Mouthy. And even when you what? Don't see me, you hear me. And so, Jaleesa, let the people know where they can find you at.
So you guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Julisa Abad. Before we go, I have one exciting thing to tell all of Michigan residents. Tomorrow, I had a meeting with Jocelyn Benson, which is our Secretary of
Yeah.
State, and other community leaders. Here in Michigan, we are able to change our gender markers to authentically reflect how we want it to. You just go to the Secretary of State and pay $9 and fill out an affidavit. As of tomorrow, and there will be a press release, all non-binary people can get a X on their ID, so it doesn't have to say male or female if you are non-binary in the state of Michigan. I also think that our community needs to do a really, really good job of understanding that these changes happen when we put people in place that believe in our causes, right? So our attorney general is a lesbian. Our governor Whitmore is very inclusive and an ally. Jocelyn Benson is a great ally. So right now, Michigan is a blue state where we have everybody in politics and politicians that are willing to help and are allies, if not even part of the LGBT community. So that's really, really monumental for Michigan, and that takes place tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that.
And thank you. And I want to challenge our binary people, myself included, that oftentimes being a binary trans woman, oftentimes you have a level of privilege. And I would just say, make space for non-binary people to show up and feel comfortable. And also, it's been this big ideal around they and them pronouns. Familiarize yourself with being able to interchangeably use those pronouns to make other people feel great, because I remember in spaces and moments where people misgendered me and how that made me feel. So I'll leave people with that being said. Thank you, Jaleesa, for coming on, girlie.
Thank you for having me, Miss Mouthy. And you know they see you. They hear you, but they also see you.
Thank you, girl. I know now. I know now. Okay, because I'm popping my shit and I'm taking up space. Okay, in my ownness. But yeah, and they do see me. But I love you. I thank you for all the work that you do. If nobody else tell you how great you are, I appreciate you. And let's take over the world, girl. Let's go ahead and do this girl power shit and show them how it's done. Yeah.
I love you
All
more.
right. Bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye.